Okay, again, thank you very much, everyone. Okay, thank you very much, everyone's participation, and thank you again. Okay, now again, we're going to reflect the teaching of the gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. And therefore, again, we reactivated our motivation, and that is foundation of the every good activities, or generally, motivation is the really everything. Everything what we do in the samsara or in nirvana, all start with motivation. Therefore, correct motivation is so important, and keep that good motivation all the time. That's the way we progress our practice and meditation. And that's the way get that beautiful motivation will bring our full bloom or full fruit, full actualizing result, accomplishment. So therefore, we should always start with the good motivation. And this motivation is nothing kind of something different, extraordinary, or something we have to do special. No, just activate our good heart, good qualities of the mind, which is always in the teaching said joy and appreciation. Joy and appreciation, thankful, grateful to all the circumstances and the quality and opportunity we have. Really thankful, grateful, but at the same time, have courage and commitment that I'm going to use this all beautiful opportunity to make even something more beautiful, more good things for myself as well as all other beings. That's how we begin our practice of Dharma. That is really so important. And we keep that motivation as much as we can all the time, day and the night, in the morning, in the evening, all the time. Then it's good. Then together with that, in bodhicitta, and that we're going to discuss today also more, the bodhicitta, love and kindness compassion toward all living beings. That means all beings, regardless what situation, circumstance, or what maybe they are. But in Buddhism, called the beings of 6 realms. So it's not just only human beings. All the beings have that love, kindness, compassion thought from the core of our heart, really wishing. That is the essence and foundation, very foundation of the Buddha teachings. With that, then in purity understanding or purity realizations, that everything is in purity status. Generally, we don't see right now, due to our duality and grasping, it kind of blocked that. Otherwise, really, reality it is everything is beautiful. Subject is beautiful, object is beautiful, everything is enlightened, the wisdom status, beautiful. There is no names of the suffering, the difficulty, challenge, and impure that exist at all. But that because due to mishandled by our own duality mind, and then it's all kind of happened, but reality is beautiful. Now we're going back to that purity state. Therefore, reactivated that right now is also so important according to teaching. With those beautiful motivation, and now we go to the teaching itself. And that is, we're going to go in this teaching, on this teaching for a few days, and now we're going to show this. If you have this electric copies, and whatever poem you have, it's according to this, page 13. Page 13, the root of a Dharma is bodhicitta. We're going to start there. We discussed already all the different aspects of these teachings that already, so I won't repeat that again today. And go to the bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, also I said, not just I said, according to teaching, first it is refuge is so important. We discussed that. Making close connection to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, with the confidence, with the appreciation, with the devotion. Those are known as refuge. Making close connection, contact. That is a refuge. Once we develop this bodhicitta, or refuge, then the Mahayana teaching, then we develop the bodhicitta. Again, I'm sure many of you know already this, but in Buddhism, there is 2 schools. One is known as the basic Buddhist school, and which is often named also sometimes Hinayanas. But many times they're using now these days, basic Buddhist school. And the second is Mahayana, Sutra Mahayana teachings, or Bodhisattva yanas. Maybe we just use Bodhisattva yanas. So there is two schools. Basic Buddhist school means what? Bodhisattva yana is based on the basic Buddhist schools, or which is often many times named as Hinayana. So means Bodhisattva yana is based on the basic fundamental Buddhist school, which Buddha taught at the age 35 for a long time. According to basic Buddhist school, Buddha gave all the time their teachings until he reached enlightenment. Until he entered the Mahaparinirvana, Buddha gave that teaching. So that is the basic Buddhist school, known as commonly many times Hinayana schools or Charvakayana schools. Those are that. And now today we're going to discuss here Mahayana or Bodhisattva yana teaching. Mahayana means what? Of course, most of you know that. In Sanskrit word, Maha means great, Yana means vehicle. So great vehicle. Great vehicle is not externally kind of vehicle that lifted and carried away. But this vehicle is our intention. Intention, our thought, our intention. What that intention? We discussed the other day. To simply say is good heart. The big good heart. Not just a good heart. Big good heart. Heart. If we make that big, little more, another terminology, then compassion. Not just a compassion, but big compassion. The gigantic compassion. Really, that is what big compassion, big loving kindness, big joy, and big balance and equanimity and openness mind, open heart, not tight. That big, that's called great. If we have that will elevate ourselves like vehicle. That will lift up us. This time we are grounded with a small mind on the samsara. Small. Even we have love, we have compassion, we have joy, we have the equanimity, all those balance is small. It's really restricted. Small love, small compassion, small joy, kind of fragile love, fragile compassion, fragile joy, and fragile equanimity or balance. But Mahayana means big vehicle, the big heart. That is really Mahayana. And we have that is like vehicle, like motor car, or like aeroplane. It will lift up from samsara to the enlightenment state. It will transcendental all our perceptions and conceptions. Our ideas become completely big, gigantic, not limited, restricted, and tight, and kind of like bouncing all the time, clashing all the time. No. Open. Relax. That is Mahayana. How that started? With the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. That is what. Therefore, here, great master, His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche said, root of Dharma is bodhicitta. Root of Dharma, every achievement, every spiritual good practice is really based upon this bodhicitta, or this simple way I translated, the good heart and compassion. Bodhicitta is a Sanskrit word, of course, you know, it has two meanings. Compassion and wisdom combined together. Compassion. This time, as I said, compassion is a big compassion. Compassion, that combined with wisdom, inseparable. So wisdom and compassion united together. Our beautiful qualities, your beautiful qualities of heart, united together with the big compassion, big wisdom are joined together and projecting to all living beings every living being, I like to be free from sufferings. I like to make everyone happy, joy, peaceful. I like to bring every living being to the peaceful status, happiness status, forever and ever. that attitude is compassion. In order to do that, what we can do? Even we have that motivation, we cannot do immediately to bring that. For that reason, we're going to project our wisdom mind to the enlightenment, to become the Buddha, or to get practices. So we will become more stronger, more stable. Our love and compassion and joy and equanimity become wider and stronger, bigger and bigger, and then boundless status. That's you heard. Boundless love, boundless compassion, boundless joy, and boundless equanimity. Boundless. That boundless was obtained in the teachings, the poor boundless. Poor boundless are based upon the bodhicitta, based upon compassion, based upon the wisdoms, based upon the concerning, caring thought for all living beings, and based up also on the wisdom that perfectly as enlightened natures. Those are what known as this is the essence of bodhicitta. So with this now understanding, bodhicitta can be like what is nature of bodhicitta, and what is the duration of the bodhicitta, and what kind of bodhicittas. Those are teaching mentioned. So I will kind of highlight those few of those. Then I go a little bit each of those. Of course, many of you already know that. First, already I explained the nature of the bodhicitta is a union of compassion and wisdom. Compassion is projecting to all living beings, as I said. And what this means, compassion is thinking of all these living beings having so many difficulties, so many troubles and challenges, even their keen heart wishes joy, peace, happiness, but reality always bouncing with the challenges and difficulty, troubles, not achieving what they like to be achieved or desire. Their desire is not really fulfilling all the time. For therefore, feel great compassion. Compassion for all these beings who are struggling so many levels. Really feel that I like to help to all of them, like to free from their sufferings. Not just the sufferings or the cause of their challenges, the cause of difficulty, troubles. Sincerely from thinking that is known as, their compassion is projecting to the all living beings. In order to make that fulfillment, that which comes true, then we have to equip ourselves. For that reason, we practice and meditate to purify our obscuration, our negativities, so that we can help it to all the beings freely, easily, openly, and pervasively, and without any boundary restrictions. For that reason, then practice, which is obtained in the teaching, said, wisdom is projecting to the enlightenment. Compassion is projected to all the living beings. United together with the compassion is known as bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. So those are nature of the bodhicitta. Then the bodhicitta can be divided into two groups. Two. Those are, of course, many of you know that. Related to the bodhicitta and absolute truth of bodhicitta. There is two bodhicitta. Relative to the bodhicitta and absolute true bodhicitta. Now first we talk relative to bodhicitta. Relative to the bodhicitta has two divisions, subdivisions. Relative to the bodhicitta has two subdivisions. Those are known as wishing bodhicitta and actualizing bodhicitta. And that is, for example, when we pray, when we do the aspiration prayers or end of our practices, we do those prayers to bodhicitta. Those who don't have, may they have the bodhicitta. May they have the bodhicitta. Or those people who don't have the bodhicitta, may they have the bodhicitta. And those who have bodhicitta, may they always increase, never demolishing that. Something we had that prayer. That is roughly here how it translates. The prayer to the bodhicitta, in those without it, may it be generated. In those who have it, may it be never diminished, but always continually increasing. That is what the prayer of the bodhicittas. First, the precious bodhicitta is the nature of the bodhicitta. That's what I said already. What is the nature of the bodhicitta is the union of compassion and wisdom. That is the precious bodhicitta. It's precious. Why is it called precious? Because it is really like wish-fulfilling jewels. It will fulfill all our wishes. If we have this bodhicitta, it fulfills all the wishes. It removes our obscurations, negativities. It fulfills all the wishes of the good thought, good hearts. And what is the great master Shantideva said is like wish-fulfilling trees. Bodhicitta is wish-fulfilling trees. When you have the truly bodhicitta in our heart, then everything will become so beautiful. That everyone become your friends, or our friends. Everyone will be protect us, help and support us. It will be also, the bodhicitta will demolish our obscurations. It increase our meritorious activities. From that on, those people who have the bodhicitta, their name will be changed forever. What is their name? Bodhisattvas, male and females. From that onward, they are the support and helper to all the beings. Like they're traveling from light to light, from light to light. They're never going to travel from dark to dark, darker. Become brighter and brighter, happy and happy. That's what really bodhicitta is. So therefore is a precious bodhicitta. Those who don't have this may generate it. So how to generate this? Generate that with knowing the quality and meaning of the bodhicitta, then we generate the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, and that is wishing bodhicitta. We generate the first wishing bodhicitta. Wishing bodhicitta is again, already I mentioned, that for boundless is wishing bodhicitta, essence of wishing bodhicitta. Love, compassion, joy, and equanimity are the essence of wishing bodhicitta. As I said earlier, there is two kinds of loves. General love and then bodhicitta loves. And general compassion and bodhicitta compassion. And general joy and bodhicitta joy. And general equanimity and bodhicitta general equanimities. Two kinds. And generally love, compassion, joy, and equanimity, we all have that. Every living being has some degree, which is good, is good heart, it is meritorious, is virtuous, is good. But that is not called bodhicitta. Love and compassion and joy and equanimity. Why? Bodhicitta, love and compassion has no boundaries, no limitations, no restrictions. So therefore, what is named in practice time when you say for boundless? Because that is something, the bodhicitta love is more excessive than the general love. General compassion is more expanded, as I said earlier too. It's really very powerful space. Boundless love to boundless beings. Boundless beings. That means what? Number of sentient beings has no numbers. There is no numbers for the living beings in Buddhism. As what great master, great teacher Buddha said in the teaching, as far as space goes, sky goes, that far there is living beings. And as long as there is living beings, that much everyone has emotion and karmas. As long as they have emotion and karma, that much they all have difficulty and challenges. So therefore, there's boundless living beings. Therefore, our love, or the bodhicitta love, is boundless for all living beings, for every beings. without any restrictions. So boundless love for the projection to the boundless living beings, and therefore in the teaching said it has boundless merit choice. The merit of the mode can be not be measured. It is really so powerful, so special that in immense of the love, you're spreading out without any boundaries. So that means indirectly we're knocking down the ego clingings. Self-important attitude is a little bit kind of slowing, softening. This ego clinging, self-important, is the fundamental troublemakers in the samsara, according to Buddhism. It's really troublemaker all the time. It made trouble from the beginner's time, now until now. It acts in our sight, but reality is bouncing us all the time. The ego and self-important attitude. That's why self-important, the ego is making all the troubles. All the troubles, for example, in individually troubles or personally trouble is making, personally trouble is making trouble to the within the families, is making trouble within the friends, it's making trouble within our neighbors in the communities in the country, and then larger scales according to their capabilities. This is the ego clinging and self-important, and surrounded by all the different emotions. One after act, they are like kind of defensive or to support us. But reality is bouncing us to the more trouble, more difficulty, more challenge, more disappointment, and more kind of crushing us, our joy and peace, hope and vision and goal and the dreams. Really is so much. So therefore, this thinking of this boundless love, it is crumbling that is in the behind the scene, the self-important attitude, ego clingings too. Therefore, it is so powerful. And then the same way compassion. Compassion, boundless compassion for all the beings, and boundless joy. Boundless this joy, appreciation, thankful, happy. Anybody who is having good kind of like result, achievement, good, celebrating that, kind of igniting that. Our heart is singing with the fulfillment and good lives of other ones with the happy and joy and peace. And we have that attitude. According to Buddhism, is so much merit. It's completely, that attitude of joy is free from the jealousness, heady thought, and the ego clinging, or is demolishing the ego clinging to some degree, and opening our heart and mind. It therefore is increasing, in the teaching said, increasing the merit choice. It purifying our obscurations, obstacles, habit patterns. So that is known as joy. Then equanimity is balance. Balance in many ways. That means we are equal. All living beings are equal. We are all equal with everyone. Which level? In what level we are equal? Because feeling level we are equal. Our desire level equal. What we have the feeling, they have similar that feeling. That means what? We like to be happy, they like to be happy. So that level same. And we don't like to be suffered. They don't like to be suffered. That level same. There's no difference. And we like to be happy, in joy, peace. We like to fulfill our wishes. That others like the same thing. They like to fulfill their wishes. They like to fulfill their dreams. There's no difference. Everything. And then also structural level. That all the human beings and animals at this world share the same thing. Really structural level, biological level. 5 organs and senses and all those are same. And we all rely on this earth. We breathe in the same air. We drink the same waters. We bath in the same sun, warmness of suns, and the moon, the stars, and airs. Same. No difference. Every level, really same. And therefore, so no one is really want sadness, suffering, the difficulty, but yet is struggling with everyone, some degree. Even we are known as, our human beings are known as upper realms, higher realms, but still we have so many challenges and difficulties. And one after another. Therefore, then, this bodhicitta is the great medicine to heal all those troubles, difficulty, challenges, and bring their fulfillments. So that's the four boundless thoughts. With this thought, those are the brilliant. Then I think whenever you already know. Now you develop generally in the both. Now with this four boundless, we develop this actualizing bodhicitta. Actualizing bodhicitta, we take, when we have the knowledge and understanding of this, then we receive the blessings and lineage blessings of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, those are known as taking the vows. Vows of bodhicitta. Then we're going to activate bodhicitta. That activating bodhicitta is then with thinking about all living beings. Again, the same thing now. Same that poor boundless attitude in the heart and the mind. With that, we're going to help it to all beings. Everyone. And how to start at that. That here, Great Master His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche said here. So that is to activating bodhicitta according to this one. Then what is this? In those without it, may it generate it. So that means that now wishing bodhicitta is developed, and therefore then you take the vows or receive the lineage blessings, and then now what are you good? Those who have it, may it never be demolished or diminished. That means how we're going to maintain that, and then how to progress is here. His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche said, benefiting others is the activity of the conqueror's offsprings, or conqueror's son and daughters. A simple way translated, that's it. Conqueror's son and daughters. So the activity of the benefiting, that is then the keeping the bodhicitta actively. How we keep that actively bodhicitta and in the progress state, that is 6 paramitas. 6 paramitas. And the 6 paramita is, then, of course, I think many of you already know, the generosity paramita, and the morality paramita, and the patient paramita, and the joyful effort to the virtues paramita, and then concentration paramita, and the wisdom or the panya paramita. Those are the 6 paramitas, I think. Jimba, Sotam, Zobab, something. I say 6? Yeah, 6 paramitas. Those are the 6 paramita practices. And that is all based, generous the paramita is based upon four boundless. And the morality paramita is based upon the four boundless. And the patient paramita is based upon the four boundless. Joyful effort for the virtues paramita is based upon four boundless. And then the concentration as well as panya paramita, all based upon the 6 paramitas, all based upon the four boundless. So now I said earlier to you, bodhicitta has 2 divisions. The relative truth bodhicitta and absolute truth bodhicitta. Relative truth bodhicitta has 2 subdivisions: is wishing bodhicitta, actualizing bodhicitta. That is relative truth bodhicitta. What about then absolute bodhicitta? Absolute truth bodhicitta is understand the meaning and the nature of the relative truth of bodhicitta. So that means what? The nature of for example, nature of love is what? Absolute level nature of loving kindness, love, boundless love, is the emptiness. And boundless compassion, nature of the boundless compassion is emptiness. And nature of the joy, boundless joy, is emptiness. And nature of the equanimity, boundless, is emptiness. And I'm sure you understand that. What that means, we're talking about the love is so special. It's true. Boundless love is so special, so beautiful, so powerful. It removes all obstacles, all that. But where is that love? Where is that boundless love? We cannot bring or touch. See, it's a pervasive quality with the nature of the mind. It's the nature of the mind. Pervasive quality. Pervasive, it shines from nature of the mind. It resides in the nature of the mind. It again comes from nature of the mind. Therefore, nature of the mind has no boundaries, no depth. It's boundless. Therefore, we can bring boundless love without exerting our love. As much as we're exerting or punishing or kind of like lost the love, if we bring more loving kindness, we're going to decrease our love. No. Actually, it's increasing. It's increasing, more powerful, because rediscovering from the infinite treasure of the mind. Love and that is bodhicitta. So the absolute bodhi. Nature of the relative truth bodhicitta is absolute truth bodhicitta. This time we are kind of intellectually understanding that emptiness and meaning of the emptiness. But this emptiness, because with this understanding, practice and meditate, then when we will see the nature of the absolute truth, exactly as of bodhicitta, absolute truth bodhicitta, when we see according to Buddhism is the first bhumi, the seeing part. You see the exactly absolute bodhicitta. This absolute bodhicitta is actually same as the Dzogchen teaching. Dzogchen teaching is absolute bodhicitta. Therefore, many times Dzogchen teachings are named bodhicitta teachings because it's absolute bodhicitta. It's the essence of the teaching. Where this relative bodhicitta arises from that absolute truth bodhicitta. But absolute truth bodhicitta is in a way external, is outreaching. We can categorize, we can explain, we can discuss, we can kind of like do those things. The absolute truth of bodhicitta is beyond the world, beyond the labels. And that's what great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in the teaching, unborn, unceasing. Nature is like sky. If we use this kind of like, commonly what we see, kind of we can adjust it in this world, can tell. Or like sky. Absolute bodhicitta is like sky. But the sky, what is the sky? This blue color we see, according to Buddhism, is not the sky. That is just the color. Color. This is not. The sky is, this is sky. This space, this openness is sky. This has no boundaries. Also, when we say, we say, oh, I saw sky. But reality, what we saw, what we see now, for example, sky. We can say maybe this openness, this spaciousness. Otherwise, there's nothing we can really make the descriptions. That is absolute bodhicitta. Absolute bodhicitta is, now we know a little bit intellectually, theoretically we understand it, but reality that actually this absolute bodhicitta will shine to our mind and realize this mind when we reach the first bhumi in the teaching set, or the seeing path. That time you see exactly as it is, without as intellectual, without any presumptions, without any theory. You see. See that. That is the absolute bodhicitta. In order to reach that realization, then we do this external, performing the activity of the 6 paramitas. 6 paramita practice is absolutely based upon for boundless love, joy, compassion, joy, and equanimity. With that, then each nature, says paramita. Nature of the generous paramita is sharing, is giving to the others without grasping, without clinging. Whatever you give, we give with joy, with appreciation, with good heart, with bodhicitta, for boundless thoughts. That is the generosity practices. Whether it's small, whether it's big, whatever it is, with a good heart. That is called virtues. And what the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in teaching, generosity practice with open heart, without any expectations. And give that to the others. That is generosity. Then generosity practice, generosity has many divisions. Of course, I maybe won't go those things. But generosity. And really those are material generosity practices, and protection generosity practices, and words wisdom generosity practices. Those are the three generosity practices, which it has also many other. But reality, generosity is open heart, sharing and giving to the others with the compassion, with the for boundless thought, with the love. That generosity is so powerful, so special in the teachings. And you can also dedicate that merit for all the living beings. Really bring by this generosity, what in the teaching said, by this generosity, may I liberate all the living beings who are not able liberated by the previous Buddhas. Previous by this generosity, the teaching said that. That is praise. You could really doing this, something we're performing very beautiful activities. And then second is the moralities, paramitas. And morality is the essence, nature of the morality is like to be pure at purity thought or attitude is the moralities. Like to be pure, keep pure. Pure of the body, pure of the speech, pure of the mind. That attitude. Or like to be a clear way negativities. I like clear way the body negativities, speech negativities, mental negativities. I like to clear way. Kind of having that attitude. I don't like to be associated with the negativity and keep that with my body, my speech, my mind. Having that thought is the pure, the essence of moralities, essence of moralities. With that, then following all the instructions of Buddha teachings, there is many instructions for the instructions of morality for the lay practitioners as well as ordained practitioners, many levels. Those are all known as morality practices. Morality practices, or morality paramitas. The next one is the patience. Patient is what? Nature of the patient is commitment to upkeeping the bodhicitta. That is that. So that means your commitment and our courageous. Or sometimes in the teaching it said, never mind attitudes. Having the attitude of never mind. I'm going to maintain that. What that means, never mind means if somebody, the patient, when we practice, lose patient, when we are encountering with the external activities or the disturbance activities, that time we lose our patient. So for that reason, what said, never mind. Have the attitude of never mind. So that means when I say, oh, never mind, what that indicating in the deep or immediately, that shows the proof, or that proves that individual's courage and commitment is so strong that is not going to disturb their identity of the bodhicitta. Keeping up courage and commitment. Commitment, never mind. Like that. That's really the essence of the patience. That. And then patient to the external challenges, patient to the inner emotions, and patient to the practice dharmas. Practice dharma, those are all in the teaching. So always have the strong confidence, courage, and commitment, upkeeping the practices. Practice. So that is patient practices. Really that. And next one is the fourth paramita, which is joyful effort for the virtues. I translated. Why? Before I used to translate it, joyful effort. But now I added it to my self virtues. So many times, because of what the great master Shanti Deva said in his teaching, what is joyful effort? Joyful effort is the one who has joy to the virtues. That's what he said. Joy to the virtues. So that means that also when you say the joy to the virtues, that is joyful effort in this bodhicitta. But if you have the joy to do some different activities, that is not the joyful effort of the paramita or bodhicitta paramita, because maybe you're inspired doing something that maybe not really lined up with bodhicitta. Your kind of regular activities, your joy, or I'm keen, I'm a hobby, I'm doing this and that things. People do so many different things because they are joy. They're kind of happy with doing this. Feel happy with that, doing things. Maybe that is not lined up with as a helping to the others. Maybe, or somebody even maybe hurting some others. For order to kind of to cut that and then make the purely as it is, so joyful effort to the virtues. As Great Master Shantideva said, the effort, joyful effort is, nature of joyful effort is joy for the virtues. Virtues, so joyful effort. Joyful effort is, then that is joyful effort for all the practices, meditations, really just. And also that means when we have joyful effort, we are not under the power of the laziness. It's directly opposite of the laziness. Laziness, or there's also laziness, it's not just kind of a casual laziness, just kind of like become as a piece of logs, L-O-G kind of log. That is not just only. There is also laziness in Buddhism, according to teaching, laziness of something more kind of like attracted with doing some kind of unwholesome or unnecessary wasted times. Wasted times. Sometimes I saw in one poem on the wall, his poem, and eating the popcorn and sitting on the sofa as a refrigerator and watching the televisions. So sitting on the sofa watching the television, sitting on the sofa as a refrigerator, eating the popcorn, watching the television. I thought this is also I thought this, according to Buddhism, it's maybe little laziness. Laziness, you just don't like to do anything, just like, that's it. Really. Drinking, or those popcorns or what, which is good, it's wonderful, really. Very good. But however it is, it just really has nothing for anything. It's just kind of like that. Then time is, according to Buddhism, is true. Not just Buddhism. If we think carefully, time is so precious. And if time is really on our side, when everything is good and our capable to do something good, is really good to do. I'm not kidding you. Time, therefore, joy and appreciation. When everything is on our side, how fortunate, how grateful. That is called golden opportunities. Golden opportunities is not just coming gold. Golden opportunities, when we have everything is in our side, and we have the freedom and capability to activate it, doing that action, fulfilling that is the golden opportunity you're really fulfilling. It's so wonderful, so special, and which is also in the Buddhism called, we're making the meaning for our own spiritual lives. Making life something special. We're really developing, building something special to our heart and mind. Not external maybe, but something to the heart and mind. According to teaching, whatever we are able to progress, develop with mind, that will go with us when we leave this world. Whatever we do, something externally, even those great monument that has merit, that will go with us. But otherwise, everything stays out. There's no one that can take. But what things we developed with our heart and mind, according to teaching, that will come with us. So then that means that we're really also making something special trail for our future destinations beyond what we see now. Really, all well good. So that means then everything become more kind of comfortable, nice, more uplifting. We leave this world with joy, with peace, happiness, and with the kind of thankful. And that will stretch all the way, according to Buddhism, to the next lives. That all is using the time right way and making the meaningful of our precious lives. Life is just a short time, but our mind is, according to teaching, is not going to end, it's not going to stop, it will be continued. So while everything is in our side, and use the time and make that something meaningful, is joyful effort. Joyful efforts. With that, and then next one is the next paramita is the dhyan paramita or concentrations. The essence, nature of the concentration is not distracted. Not distracted. That is essence. Not distracted. So that means not distracted our mind. When our mind is distracted, our verbals are distracted. Our verbals are distracted, our maybe physical distracted. Then we're not able to settle ourselves. Concentration means, particularly, is designed teaching on the mind, to our mind. Our concentration have to be settled. Mind is what? Present time is distracted. All different memories, past memories, present memories, or past memories, present plans, and future projections, so many things, there's so many things are really completely distracted. That is not the concentrations, it's scattered mind. But concentration means one-pointed single state, mind began to rest. It is own status. Whether it is shamatha meditation or vipassana meditation, not distracted. Shamatha meditation means coming down our all consumption thoughts to the one single status. One thought rests now. So that means that we're not following all the thoughts, thinkings. That is concentration. And then vipassana is dzogchen meditation. Seeing the nature of the mind. Beholding the nature of the openness of the mind, or the rupa or the absolute truth, or absolute bodhicitta, and relax in that status, freely and openly and very freshly. That is known as dzogchen meditation, or relaxing. That is dhyan or concentration paramita. So that essence of it is not distracted. That. And the next one is then panya paramita. Panya paramita is, panya means wisdom. Wisdom is knowing the exactly way things are, is wisdom. That means what? Knowing the exactly way things are relative truth or relative level, knowing the exactly way the absolute truth, or knowing exactly entity of the relative truths as it is. That means not overstated, not understated, not made anything, just the way. See, that means see simple truth as it is. See the truth as it is. That is wisdom. In Buddhism, that is really the biggest wisdom, the most powerful wisdoms, not making up things as it is. As it is the way on the relative level, as it is on the absolute level, as that, and seeing that as it is. That is. And then the wisdom can be divided in the teaching that wisdom that comes from the studying, wisdom that comes from the concentrations, wisdom that comes from the meditation and the practices, or wisdom of the relative truth, of the wisdom of the absolute truths. But basically, seeing as it is, seeing the truth as it is simple, that is absolute truth. That is wisdoms. So those are the wisdom paramitas. And the paramita means what? Again, we added that generosity paramita, morality paramita, everything we added paramita. That is generally, paramita makes those generosity more special. Same as generally, again, these 6 paramitas we all have. It's not just the unique of the Buddhism. Everyone has. Every world have these 6. Every world or every religion explain that. Generosities, moralities, and patience, and all that. But paramita means no grasping, no clinging, no attachment. No attachment. When we are fulfilling the fulfillment of the generosity, no attachment. When you are fulfilling the morality activity, no attachment and no grasping. And patience, joyful effort to the virtues, and concentration, no attachment, no grasping, no clinging. And some teaching on the teaching said, no grasping, clinging to the subject, the object, the actions. No clinging. Open, free, and very, very vastness nature. That makes the paramita. And that is paramita in the Sanskrit word actually means one which takes to the other shore, other side of the shore, S-H-O-R-E, I believe, other shore. That means this paramita with no attachment, no grasping, clinging, will take the other shore of the enlightenment. This is the samsara shore, where we are now, is the samsara shore. From this shore, it will attract to the other shore of the enlightenment, Buddhahood, or the nirvanas, the Mahaparinirvana status. So that is known as paramita, 6 paramita, that will maintain the bodhicitta as well as increase in the bodhicitta. It will bring the progress in bodhicitta. And that will bring, so here, Great Master Jigdral Dongyal Rinpoche says, benefiting others. Benefiting others is benefiting others with the 6 paramitas. Paramitas, then that is the activity of the conqueror's son and the daughter. Here translated as offsprings. But conquerors, simple to say, conqueror's son and daughters. That means, in the teaching said, as I said earlier, in the Great Master Shantideva said, moment we develop the bodhicitta in our heart, that moment our name will be changed forever. What is known as bodhisattvas. Bodhisattva male and bodhisattva females. Bodhisattva male and female also named, as sometimes said, conqueror, if I use terminal, conquerors. Conqueror is the name of the synonym of the Buddha. Conqueror. What conquered? Conquered all the obstacles, obscurations, negative emotions, ego clingings, all the knowledge obscurations, and emotion obscurations. I maybe mentioned those other day, and you know already. So Buddha conquered that, means defeated that. Buddha defeated ego clingings. Buddha defeated the negative poisons, anger, jealous, hatred thought, angry, and arrogance, and ignorance. Those defeated. Those really so. Buddha defeated 2 major obstacles, obscurations. Obscuration of knowledge, obscuration of the emotions, have defeated. Then one who following the Buddha's path, and upholding that that lineage is known as noble son and noble daughters. Why they named? Because these noble sons and daughters are generally what in the world, sons are what they say. Sons are keeping the climb of the families. They say, right? In this case, the noble son and noble daughters are keeping climb of the Buddhas. What is the climb of the Buddha? It's bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is a climb. You're keeping that climb, or that caste. And then what the Bodhisattva is doing? Also helping to the others. That Buddha does. So the Buddha, keeping up the climb of the bodhicitta and helping to the Buddha loved to all the beings. And now Bodhisattva, noble son and noble daughters, or the prince and princess of the Buddhas, victorious ones, are continually performing, engaging that activity, upholding the Buddha's legacy and visions. Therefore, these conquerors' offsprings, they are the holder of the Buddha's climb and lineage, teaching, and his in Buddha's vision in a way. So that is what so that is really about bodhicitta. Okay, bodhicitta, and then that is the foundation here. I mean, His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche said, and I mentioned, you all know that. That's really the foundation of generally all Buddha teachings. Buddha teaching is generally based upon love and compassion and non-violence. That you know. Doesn't matter which school, basic school or the Bodhisattva yanas, and everything is same that. But then in the Bodhisattva yana or the Mahayana, highlighted the kind of more emphasizing on the loving kindness and compassion for all the beings. And for that reason, you're going to get enlightenment or walking for the enlightenment. That is emphasized, and that's why it's called Mahayanas, big vehicle, great vehicles. So that is my brief talk, and thank you very much, everyone. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Now again, we do short dedication. It's here. By this merit, may all obtain omniscience, may defeat the enemy and wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of the birth, origin, and sickness and death, from the ocean of the samsara, may I free all beings. May the soul's from the benefit of happiness, the Buddha's teachings remain for a long time. May the victory banner, the lives of the noble ones, from the holders of the teachings remain firm. May all the sentient beings always be joyful. May all births into the lower realms cease forever. May the wishes of all the Bodhisattvas and all the beings swiftly reach fruition. At this very moment, for the peoples and nations of the earth, may not even the names of disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard, but rather may your conduct, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase, and may supreme good fortune and well-being always arise. The precious bodhicitta and those who without it may degenerate, and those who have it may never diminish, but always continue increasing. May the great tradition of Khenpo Tsewang Dongyal and the Dharma King Tristan increase and spread throughout the three-realm world. May the appearance of the three jewels and the mind streams of beings remain inseparable and bring sublime well-being throughout the three times. Deity, mantra, and dharmakaya are the nature of appearance, sound, and awareness, the pervasive kaya and the wisdom display of the Buddhas. May the practitioners of the profound and secret great perfection remain inseparable from the innermost one-taste awareness of wisdom mind. Okay, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you very much for participating. If you have time, please, then we do together with the Vajrakilaya and Dharmapala practice. Okay. Thank you. Otherwise, then hopefully see you day after tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.